What an honor to see Mr. Tony B in the house with Chris Caggiano. Welcome, gentlemen.
All right, we are live streaming. Hope you guys are doing great. Tom and Keith,
Love it.
Yes.
excited.
What an honor to be on this call today with two CCIM commercial real estate rock stars, growth leaders in this industry. My name is Tom Truong, and I have the pleasure of co-hosting today's eXp Commercial Explained version 2.0. Some of us might call it 2.2, 2.4. The point of it all, it is the latest and greatest presentation of eXp Commercial. My two co-hosts I have known now for over a decade through the Asian Real Estate Association of America, where we all serve as leaders in our communities to promote real estate growth, to promote housing, to promote sustainability and all that. And commercial has everything to do with that as well. So before we get going and dive into this 30-minute presentation, I'd like for you to meet my co-hosts. Let's start with Mr. Keith Andrews. Would you
Thank
please
you,
say
Tom.
hello, Keith?
Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome. I do know some of the faces that are on here right now. Real quick, who is Keith Andrews? My only real claim to fame these last 4.5 years is this. I am the first licensee of eXp Commercial. So I am agent 0001, 0001. We started Alabama November 2020. That's my claim to fame. My background, 20 years telecommunications and globally, and 20 years real estate, second career.
I love it. And here's what I know about Keith. He always has a beautiful smile. This guy never, nothing gets this guy down. All right, Keith, thanks for being on the call here. Mr. Daniel Lang,
How are
you're
you
up.
guys? Yes, honored to be here. I'm here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Just honored to be part of this platform, eXp Commercial. Been here 4 years and 4 months, and just starting. And just excited to be here and just to share how the platform works, and just honored to just be here and just to share, because the impacting of lives is really important for me.
And Dan, prior to being here for 4+ years, what did you do before, Dan? You were in the real estate business. You've been in this for a while.
Yeah,
Franchise
since
owner. Give us a little bit more about that so the audience understands and appreciates what your background is as well.
Yeah, since 2001, graduating from banking and finance from Switzerland. Been in the real estate industry, commercial real estate industry, having two franchises in the past, residential with my other partners, and then commercial with Calvin, under the other commercial franchise. And, you know, just growing a team, it's when you own a brokerage, you got to grow a team, you got to support your team members, and you got to operate. And when eXp came to our laps, we realized we don't have to just do the operations. We can just focus on growth. We can focus on our production, and then learning about economy of scales, right? Just building a property, you don't build just 4,000. You want to build at least 15, 20,000 because of economy of scales. It's still four sides, right? So you learn about that, and that's what eXp offers, is because we have the leverage and the power of economy of scale.
I love it. And Keith, back to you for a quick second. You also had your own operations, your own franchise operations before coming here, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I had actually 3 franchises of the same company that Daniel was at. And a little over 5 years ago, eXp came to us to talk about possibilities. And it turned out you can't beat this. We're like a catalyst in the commercial industry, what we provide and how we're trying to change the profession. I have a real good friend here who's part of my organization as well on this call right now. And I give him the credit for the idea of incorporating to anybody that you meet out there in the commercial environment, how our platforms can commingle and integrate and continue to exponentially grow you as you have been growing yourself. And I think it's just great to take advantage of eXp Commercial's solutions for your solutions.
I love it. And folks, my name is Tom Truong, and I've been in the business now for 2 decades as a full-fledged real estate practitioner. For the first 9 years, I built and owned 4 different franchise offices. Late 2014, I was disillusioned with being a broker owner with a lot of headaches, lots of heartaches of agents leaving me for greener pastures, so on and so forth. Found myself just constantly having to compete with the bigger brands, and they didn't have all the resources as an independent franchisee. Sold it to a national hedge fund out of New York City, got 4 times earnings, which is pretty good for real estate brokerage sales. Stuck with them for the next 3.5 years, and then found eXp 7.5 years ago, and that's basically changed my trajectory and my business plan for the rest of my career. For the past 4, I've been very involved with the eXp commercial and helping these gentlemen and all of eXp commercial grow, and we're going to get right into that now and why we believe this platform is where innovation happens. This platform is where real estate entrepreneurs, commercial real estate practitioners can leverage the opportunity, leverage the platform, and take it to the whole new world and whole new place of business where they might have dreamt of. Daniel Lang, what does this slide tell you about who you are affiliating with?
Well, when you see that we are the largest independent real estate company, not just in the US, on the globe, on the planet Earth. And this shows you how strong the company is. It shows you why leaders join this platform. It shows you why brokers partner up in this unique platform for growth, for support, and to do production.
I love it. And production, we do a lot of it. This chart here shows you many of the other competing brokerages here in the United States. And yeah, we recruit. People say, hey, eXp is a recruiting company. 1,000%. We recruit top producers. We recruit massive talent, but we also look for rookies so we can help the rookies grow into this profession and outperform most other platforms as well. These numbers speak for themselves. eXp Realty last year closed over 350,000 sides. And if you look here, the next brand, which consists of the Coldwell Banker Commercial, the C21, the Sotheby's, all of these Anywhere brands closed about 250,000, $100,000 less. Compass did about 229,000 transactions, so on and so forth. And our top 250 teams, we just pulled out the top 250 out of the 87,000 here at eXp, they would rank sixth. They would rank, sixth in the whole country in terms of sales volume. So we are selling a lot of commercial and residential real estate, folks. Okay. All right. Keith Andrews, take us through the history of eXp, please, and what jumps out for you here?
Well, the thing that jumps out would be the actual arrow you see here over the years. That actually kind of completely mirrors what you just talked about. The idea of starting out in 2009 as a residential company, the volume of transactions through the years growing. One of the big things on this chart itself has to do when we became a public company, publicly traded. That added to the whole culture of eXp World Holdings of being an agent-centric entity. We own this company, or all these companies inside this umbrella. We own that. And that's what's significant here. The other significance is after, I don't know, 11 years or so, they decided that it's time to be global and it's time to have commercial in our world. And there you see it in 2020. It was kind of funny. It just coincided together. We both entities started at just about the same time. I thought that was pretty fascinating. That's what this says to me.
Right. So in the middle of COVID, we decided to launch a commercial brokerage, a cloud-based brokerage. Daniel, why is that so important?
It's important because, one is you have to understand costs, right? Running a brokerage, running, a national brokerage before it went global cost a lot of money. And if you can move operations to the cloud, right? If you imagine 1,000 real estate offices, doesn't matter what brand, it could be all independent companies. Imagine you're paying $6,000 rent. You multiply that by 12 months, that's $72 million just in office rent. And if you can eliminate the expense, how could you do that? And we did that by moving to the cloud, not just having it on the app and on this. We actually created the first virtual real estate metaverse company, corporate company to operate in the metaverse. And this is before the word metaverse was termed. So you can imagine how forward thinking our founder, Glenn Sanford, was in creating this. And you can work from anywhere. We have Regus access, meaning we have a global access to all Regus offices globally, over 3,000 plus offices. And you can meet your clients, you can schedule appointments, you have access to a physical place, right? But operations, right? We have 2,500 plus employees that are servicing us. When you see that you have brokers support all in this virtual world, servicing, helping us. Our CEO, Leah Pereira, is great. Our founder is Glenn Sanford with the idea. And then, of course, you have great people like Leo stepping up to the next level, supporting all the agents and growth, and Glenn taking on the international role for the international growth. So that is why it's important when you look at a platform, how we can cut costs. That's important, but not take away service, right? We're actually adding more services in that. So.
Right. And so when Glenn Sanford launched eXp Realty back in 2009, he decided that, hey, we're going to build a brokerage that is for the agent, that is agent centric, that makes every agent a broker owner. They can build their business within this platform. That there will be no territories. There will be no franchises where you buy your franchise, you stay in your lane, I stay in my lane, and we really can't cross over. No, Glenn had the vision of building a global business, a global platform for every real estate entrepreneur to take advantage of. Glenn invented this category, invented the cloud-based category, invented the revenue share category, invented the stock ownership for every agent category, right? And so that was born out in 2009. And in 2020, we repeated that with the commercial company. We launched that, and we came together as a company saying, we're going to deliver the best commercial platform out there. If we could reinvent the industry and do it all over again, what would we do different? Well, we're going to take what we've been doing very successful on the realty side, and we're going to duplicate that for the commercial side. We're going to provide commercial practitioners with the best resources, the best technology. We're going to aggregate training, where we're going to give away training for free. Dan said earlier, we have 2,500 support staff who's on our payroll. Our support staff works for us. We took the pyramid of commercial real estate, where the international company sells a franchise, the franchisees takes it, and they hire a manager. The manager then goes out, hires the agent, and the agents are at the bottom of the pyramid scheme. We took that pyramid scheme, we flipped it on its head. The agents here are first and foremost, and then the company hires the support staff to support us and provide all of that. Keith, take a look at this slide here. There's so many eXp commercial advantages. What several things here pop out for you in terms of what's important for the commercial practitioner and for you, Keith? And then we'll go to Dan.
Okay, so I'm going to say you coined this phrase, Tom. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And all of you that are here and are watching this recording later, if you could write this down, there are 4 freedoms you experience when you're utilizing eXp's platforms in your world. Even in your personal world, there are 4 freedoms. And I was looking at this slide, Tom, and I was trying to decide which one of these columns fall under these freedoms. But here's your 4 freedoms. Write this down. You have stress freedom. Stress freedom. That'd be in the support column, right?
That's right.
You have
Yep,
financial freedom. Wouldn't that be like that plus category? You have financial freedom and stress freedom. You have time freedom. Time. I see you all are writing this down.
that's
And
right.
you have location freedom. That's what Glenn Sanford thought of on day one. So
That's right.
this slide, if you look at the many different categories and drill down into here, and if you get this PowerPoint from us, you should be able to click on each of these and it takes you to what that category is. Is that good, Tom?
That's right.
Okay.
All right, Daniel, go ahead, man. What pops out for you here?
We have someone's hopped onto our Zoom.
Yeah, I see that. I
Okay.
moved it on. Go ahead, Daniel.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. So going to the slide um, and just growing and pursuing, I think the main thing is, going. Hold on, your slides are.
Go ahead, man. Keep going.
Yeah. So we have CoStar, which is great. Uh, for past, so adding CoStar now really eliminates it because when we look at the cost structure of the 80/20 split in a minute, adding CoStar, adding build outs, adding Air CRE, and of course we have every agent in eXp, whether it's on the realty side or commercial side, we have Canva Pro as an enterprise. This is a marketing tool. We have design templates to help brand, and you can create your templates for your team as you continue to grow. So let's take a look at the next slide. We have
No.
Mike
Okay.
Ox. We need to take off Mike.
Yes. Samantha, Alex,
I'm gonna,
administrators, can you please stay alert and remove
I
the
removed.
nuisances, please?
Yes.
Okay, I need you guys to stay alert, please. We're a global company, and we got a lot of clowns out there. Let's leave it at that.
Yes.
All right, Daniel, go ahead, man. Let's talk about the compensation plan.
Yeah. 80/20 split. And so for those that are in the commercial industry, there's a cap. And a lot of commercial folks don't understand what a cap means. The most that you pay this company annually would be $20,000. It's not $100,000. It's not $150,000. The most would be 20,000. There's a cap. So 80/20 split. After you hit that 20,000 cap into the company, you're 100% for the remainder of a year. Keith,
And
you want to share
if
this
you can
new?
imagine, yeah, if you can imagine, so I would say, let me just add to that. As a commercial practitioner, you take into account all the tools and resources and fees and whatever you can imagine. Out of all the commissions you bring to the company, you end up paying 26,000 a year now, and you're done. You've got your tools and your resources, you've got your support, you got your training, you've got multiple streams of revenue. You can be a fantastic mentor if you want to. All of this is available to you at $500 a month plus that first 20,000 of all GCI, that's gross commission income you turn into the company during that 12 months. So this is just telling you if you have a deal, if it is $1 million deal, you pay $100 E&O insurance on that $1 million deal, basically, is what this says, risk management. The most we pay is each time we have a transaction, up to 10 transactions, you have $100 taken out of your GCI to cover the errors and emissions part of that transaction. That's what I think is beautiful about that. I was a broker. All of us who owned our brokerages, we paid thousands of dollars for E&O insurance. That's all I got to say about this slide.
When I was a broker owner, I had transaction fees, transaction management fees. I also has error and omissions or risk management fees. And frankly, I marked it up. I that was actually the agents thought it was an expense line, but for me it was an income line. I only paid so much for errors and omissions, but above and beyond that, on every transaction, I made more money to compensate for the other overhead that I had to carry. Does that make sense, guys? So when we talk about a standard cost of just $500, that's a hell of an investment because it comes with CoStar.
Yeah.
CoStar alone for some folks costs more than $500, not for international access. It comes with build out. Imagine getting access to all of your commercial real estate forms. You don't really need to hire an attorney for the standard contracts in every single of the 50 states. How about having access to Canva, which is our marketing tool, Canva Pro? That alone can run hundreds of thousands of dollars. So when we look at this package for $500 per month, I speak to a lot of commercial practitioners and I recruit a boatload of commercial practitioners who are very seasoned. They say when they sit down and they pencil the deal out, most of them are paying between $2,000 upwards of $4,000 per month for the package that we provide here for just $500 a month. How can we do that? We can do that because we have scale. We have economies of scale. When you have 800 full-fledged commercial advisors under one umbrella, you can go to the marketplace like CoStar and Build Out and all these other platforms to negotiate a much deeper discount because we can guarantee them a monthly stream of renewals. Okay, and that's where it all comes from. Daniel, let's talk about
Hey, wait,
interstate
Tom,
co-brokering.
let me say something about this slide you just pulled up, if that's
Yes,
okay.
please.
All right. So most of commercial is franchise. We all know that. Those of you who have been there, the big boys are franchises. Coming from the telecom world, we would call that silos. People communicating with people, the collaboration across a company is not there. Our company is the opposite. We have a broker in each state that's responsible for that state with the real estate commission. Because of that, we are one commercial company in all 50 states. The ability to do business across 50 states, even though we're licensed in our own state, is huge. The collaboration is huge, and the cooperation. And let me just add one more. I know it doesn't quite fit in this category, but across the globe, being in those 26 countries. Well, let me hold back on that. You're going to have that slide. Sorry, Tom. I'll bring that up later.
No worries at all. Yeah,
Okay,
so
I'll wait.
that's really important. So if you're a commercial practitioner out there and you've been finding that you are more localized or maybe just regionalized because the footprint of your platform only takes you so far, because your broker might not be licensed in all 50 states, you find that you cannot do business, give or get referrals even in other states. And so that's really important, something that you want to dive deeper into the person who shared this presentation with you and ask them to show you the maps, to show you the interstate brokering map, to show you how much more you can expand your business to a global environment if that's what you choose. Daniel, let's talk about the benefits of a group structure here.
Yes, on eXp Commercial, we have three different group structures. We have a domestic team, husband and wife teams, and we have a self-organized group team where you have mentees under that, and you have a standard group where there is a reduced cap for your team members. The fourth category is actually the cross-company domestic team, where you have a spouse on the realty side. There is another benefit for that now, and these are all added benefits for group structures. And if you're a team leader or broker with teams, with agents, this is the opportunity for you to look at. And any more detail, we have the slides, and there is the FAQ, so you can read through the details as well, and we can go over that.
Yeah, and we have these group structures, folks, so that we are continuing to be very attractive for the independent commercial practitioner, broker owner who has a team of 5 or 50 or even 500 to be able to roll their operation in, be powered by eXp Commercial, but yet still keep the autonomy of running their own operations just more streamlined and more profitable. Okay, now we're getting to revenue share. So we talk about the compensation plan as being 80% to the advisor, 20% to the company. And then when the advisor pays the 20%, equating to $20,000 on an annual basis, they reach a cap, meaning they max out at 20,000 paid to the company, and then they graduate to 100% commission for the rest of that anniversary year. Well, Glenn came up with revenue share. And what is revenue share? Of the 20% that the company takes in, we actually only need half of that. Of the 20,000 we take in, up to 20,000, I should say. It's not a minimum requirement. If you just did one deal and that deal only generated 5,000 in company dollar, that's all you pay. All right, just to make sure you guys understand that. But when you cap, meaning you've paid in the full 20%, equating to $20,000 on an annual basis, you graduate to 100%. The company takes that 20,000 and they cut it in half. They only need half of that to run the company very profitably, to cover the 2,500 or so staffers, our technology, our training and platform, so on and so forth. The other half we put into a revenue share pool of $10,000, and we split it up in 7 tiers. Okay, what does 7 tiers mean? Daniel, why don't you cover this a little bit, please, and explain what does revenue share mean, and what does it mean to you, Daniel?
Yeah, so as Tom explained earlier, half of the revenue gets shared to agents in 7 levels. And what does that mean for me? It means that I can grow. It means that I can impact other agents, not just in Dallas, but globally. So when the company shares the revenue, it allows me to not be in a box when I had my franchise just in Dallas. But I can grow all 50 states and currently in 26, 27 countries. And that's what revenue means for me, where I can impact more people, create an organization, and build a real estate club that we're creating. And that's what the 7 levels means. It's paid out that way. So I can grow deep 7 levels. That's the term.
So here's an illustration for you. You join the company and you refer this business, you recruit another agent that comes into the company. That agent goes out and that agent closes a $20,000 gross commission, $100,000 gross commission income deal. That agent keeps 80%, which is $80,000. Got it? After that first deal, they graduate from 80% to 100% commission. The 20,000 that comes into the company, half of that, 10,000 goes to pay its overhead, and $10,000 goes into this revenue sharing pool. And if you look at this chart, if you brought in, let's say, Mike, and Mike is your tier 1 agent, you would earn 17.5% of the $10,000 revenue share pool. The following month, eXp will send you a check for $1,750 as part of the company revenue sharing pool. When Mike brings in Susie, Susie is Mike's tier 1, your tier 2. Susie closes that $100,000 GCI deal. 20,000 goes into the company. Half of that 10,000 goes to revenue share pool. So 20% of $10,000 is $2,000 that gets paid to you. $1,750 gets paid to Mike, and so on and so forth, and until we pay out the full $10,000 in 7 tiers. I hope that was clear enough for you guys. Keith Andrews, you had an incident a few years back where you weren't really, you were taking care of your health. Tell us about how revenue share affected you, please.
Okay, very quickly. I was a mentor, and I was also slowly trying to build my organization for the rev share world. Let me just say one statement. Revenue is not profit. Revenue is the gross dollar that went into the company. Profit is the net dollar that occurs after all these crazy expenses occur and somebody dictates, here's our profit. We share revenue. So as I was building, I brought people with me when I first started. There was enough revenue happening in 2023, along with my mentors were closing deals while I was off the grid. And I stayed off the grid 6 months because of open heart surgery, all that stuff. I just wanted to recover perfect to be who I am today, actually. And so during that time, I collected $68,000 that year from the rev share and from some of my mentees that did stuff during that 6-month period. I thought that was pretty cool.
And weren't you glad that you took advantage of the revenue share pool before you needed to go into that triple heart bypass surgery, right?
Yes.
Right. It's you planned for a rainy day well before the rain came, Keith.
Good I didn't know there was a rain.
That's right. All right. Expert Care Desk. hey, yes, we are cloud-based, but guess what? For our commercial advisors as well as our residential advisors, we have 24/7 support right there. We have staff that basically works in every market for about 11 hours live. And then after that, it gets turned over to our expert care desk. And our expert care is very well versed to handle most, if not all, questions that are eating at you if you need to get that done, if you need to get your questions answered quickly. All right, Keith, we have an eXp commercial business brokerage division. Talk to us about this, please.
Okay. All right. Real quick. So in the world of commercial real estate, a lot of times there's business out there to be bought and sold. There's mergers and acquisitions. Well, we have brought that into our company maybe 2.5 years ago, where you can, if you're a business broker out there right now, or you're busy handling mergers and acquisitions in the publicly traded world, you can come into eXp Commercial and take advantage of all these revenue streams we're talking about at all of these platforms at the same cost, at that $500 a month a transaction, at the, whatever. You can do that. You have to have a real estate license, though. You can't, if you come in as a business broker and you don't have your real estate license, you got to go get it. So you can be part of eXp Commercial. That's the only caveat.
Here's what I love about our commercial business broker division. There are 1.7 licensed realtors all across the United States. Okay. There's thousands of commercial practitioners, but and every one of us, whether you're on the residential side, the luxury side, the commercial side, when you're doing a deal, stop and ask, especially the residential agents, stop and ask your residential clients, hey, what do you do for a living? I just help you buy a house. I just help you sell your home. But what do you do for a living? Chances are they work for a business. And so every single agent out there has the ability to find out what their clients do for business, and possibly they might be looking to expand their business. Maybe they want to look for a new lease, a new location to lease or to acquire. And we can basically, we have the relationship and we can refer that business over to the business brokerage division. And that is another income stream for most agents that they can tap into now if they're part of this platform. Dan, did you want to add anything to this slide before I move on?
No, I think it's important that they create a division because, business brokering versus just the regular commercial acquisitions and sales and leasing is very separate, different animal as well. So I'm glad that they created this business broker division because, of course, they have different tools as well. So I'm glad that they structured it this way, and it's continuing to grow, which is great.
All right. Contact contact group services. If you're a team leader, if you're a broker owner and you need help to try to figure out, hey, how do I migrate my team, my existing team from a different brand over to eXp? I'm a broker owner. I'm an independent. How do I make this move to make it financially feasible and then ultimately much more profitable for me? Reach out to the person who talked to you about this program, who showed this video to you, who showed this PowerPoint to you, and then ask them to contact group services so we can go through the finer details for you, okay? All right, Icon Award. Daniel, you've got a partner who's Icon, who's the eXp Icon. Why don't you explain what this is, please?
Yes. So, for producers that hit a certain mark, right? Instead of getting a nice little plaque or a nice, gift card or whatever, yes, eXp does give you a nice glass plaque, Icon Award, but also you get more equity, right? Our split is 80-20, capped at 20,000. You have the ability to get back $20,000 back in company stock by hitting your production mark. And there's a couple ways to do it. And this is how you get your stock awards, by attending a eXpCon event or going to a rally around the country. These are equity that's given to you because you hit your production mark, and this is how the company honors you with this award. So
when I joined the company 7 years ago, our stock was trading at about $3 a share. Okay. And that stock is now up to about $9 a share. So over the past 7 years, our stock has basically grown by 300%. 100%. And our icon agents have seen that growth all along with us if they were iconing with us each and every year. Okay. All right. Let's keep, Daniel, go ahead and talk about this slide and what jumps out at you here compared to the traditional commercial brokerages and the brokers where there is no cap, where there's no way to get their entire cap if there were one back.
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple of options for the Icon Award, and what really steps out is the option 2, where you hit your GCI 500,000 and you just do 5 transactions total. For those that are doing large sale deals, because we may not be doing 20, 30 deals, because we're not all doing leases, right? But having 5 transactions equal up to 500,000 GCI qualifies you as an Icon Stock Award. And this is huge, and this has benefited a few icons in our group, and I'm glad about option 2.
I love it. Thank you. All right, Keith, talk to us about the Agent Advisory Council, please. What's the purpose of this group here?
Agent-centric company means not just, hey, have ownership in it, but you also have leadership and input into what direction is this company heading. I'm sure that the advisory council, the National Advisory Council before 2020 probably was talking everybody's ears off saying, we got to have commercial, we got to have luxury, we got to have global. And so that's what happens. All of us who are advisors in eXp commercial can reach out to this team of 10. The reason these 10 are here is because they represent different asset groups or they represent different parts of the country. That's why they're here. There's plenty of us here that can qualify to be a part of this 10, but it's just a matter of where they are. So what we think, what we want to suggest or whatever, it's kind of like a suggestion box, but it's actually 10 talking heads, and they're talking to the C-suite of our companies all the time.
So that our voices are heard. I love that. Thank you. Okay. We have 87,000 agents on the eXp Realty side. What does that mean for our commercial practitioners joining here? Well, Keith, you said it, right? The amount of referrals that come as a result of making yourself known. Talk about that, Keith.
Okay. 2021, for some reason, we measured the potential referrals that came from our realty brokerage to our eXp commercial brokerage. They started at 38,000 agents. They ended at 65,000. We started at 33 advisors and ended at 492 advisors the end of 2021, which made us number 11 on the planet. That's a side note. During that year, I'm going to say maybe 10% of that 38 to 65,000 people knew we existed. They managed to refer to us $9.2 billion in potential sales that year. That's one of the main reasons I said, I've got to come help start that company too. I like the idea of having a fantastic business resource as one of my sisters or brothers, brother company, sister company, whatever you say.
I love that. Dan, let's chime in here. You owned both a realty franchise as well as a commercial franchise, right? And what are the two companies working together under one umbrella mean to you and most agents out there who's listening to this?
Well, having those two companies as a background, I understood the true power of collaboration, but I was operating 2 sets of books, 2 sets of partnerships. Now coming under one roof, even though we're 2 separate companies in eXp Realty, eXp Commercial, we get to work together. I get referrals coming in at least twice a week right now, and just helping these realty agents around the country service their clients, at least vetting out the process of what they need, and working with the eXp Luxury division, because guess what? That buyer is buying a $3 to $5 million home. They are in business. They are looking at real estate investments and commercials on their radar. They probably own multiple commercial properties already. So connecting with our luxury division, with our top producers there, is important, right? And that's an opportunity that most commercial practitioners don't have. They don't have a large residential group to tap into their clientele, because guess what? Our commercial clients are buying luxury homes. I mean, that's typical.
Hey, Tom, on this slide. Oh, you went to
Go ahead, Keith. Talk about this slide.
real quick, in the commercial world, we're more apt to deal with clients globally. We may deal with family offices anywhere on the planet. The number one concern to all of us in commercial is, will I get paid? So if I've got clients and opportunity in these countries right now that we're in, we will
27
get
countries in
paid.
total and growing.
We will get paid. That's a fact. We will get paid because it's in eXp's world.
That's right. All right, we're coming down to the very end here, and then we will take questions, folks. So get your questions ready. Daniel, let's talk about the referral division.
Yeah, referral division. If you are, licensed in any state or country, or this is for the U.S., you can join the ecosystem of eXp, activate your license, but not practice real estate, and you can join the referral division for $50 a month. You're in the ecosystem, meaning you can grow, you can learn, you can get the healthcare benefits at a discount, and you can refer deals out and get a referral check. And this is the best way as well. So we created the referral division a few years ago, and this is an option for people. And for those that are licensed but not really focusing on doing sales, but guess what? If you have a license, you need to referral deals out because that referral money is mailbox money, and because of your connections. And that's a great part. EXP commercial, yes, our monthly is going back at $500 a month. That includes CoStar, that can include Build Out, Canva, Workplace. You can hold your stocks there. So great way to look at the referral division as an option for people. And if you have any questions, just let us know.
All right, guys. Well, Keith and Dan, thank you so much for helping us with the eXp Commercial Explained today. I'll wrap it up with this. So, welcome to eXp Commercial. If you're thinking of making a move, you're going to make an excellent move. Why? You're going to be able to partner up with, link arms with the fastest growing, the most profitable commercial brokerage firm that's that's disclosed publicly out there. You're going to have 87,000 residential agents giving you referral business. You will find your lane here. You will find your tribe here, whether you are a multifamily person, a industrial, a retail, a multifamily, whatever your lane is in the commercial world, you can find it here, and you can run with the rock stars here. You can build your own organization within an organization, earn stock, get health care, take full advantage of the revenue sharing opportunity to help the company grow, because at the end, this is your company. If you are a seasoned agent and you're not quite done training and motivating others, the next generation yet, then you can join our mentorship program. We're always searching for new mentors. If you are a rookie agent or looking to make a move from residential into commercial, we have the mentoring program. We have the eXp Commercial University, where you can take and attend classes. You can attend live classes as well as pre-recorded classes. And you have an ability to network with the best of the best through the best communication platform out there. We are global, and you can take your business there as well. All right. Closing comments, Keith, and closing comments, Dan, and then we'll take questions.
All I can say is call us, reach out to us. Our culture is servant leadership. Your leaders want to serve you first.
Yeah, I agree with Keith 100%. We're here to collaborate. We own this company together. It's a different mindset. When you know that when Keith wins, we win, and when I win, Tom wins. We all win together. And with having that mindset and that strategy for continued growth globally, this is exciting. I'm always excited every day. I really appreciate Tom for the opportunity with Jim and Keith and able to work together. And we have a lot of people in the organization that are just getting started. We all have the opportunity. It's not me, it's not Keith, it's all of us. We all went together. And when you come into this platform and having that same mindset, you will grow, whether it's production, whether it's your organization, or whether it's just referring deals.
I love it. Thank you very much, Daniel. All right, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed that eXp commercial presentation. We're probably going to end up doing this presentation once a month live, and you can always go to our YouTube channels to watch the replay. Who's got questions? Come on out. Come on up, unmute yourself, and or type it in the chat, please. We've left plenty of time for your questions, folks. I'm looking through the chat here.
You can unmute too. Anyone can unmute as well, or raise your hand, digital hand.
Hi, this is Luisa, and I have a question here. I just joined eXp, maybe, yes, I think 4 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Okay? Thank you. And since I start listening other advisors and agents, I was very interested in how can I do this myself? I mean, because I heard that I don't want to be a recruiter, okay? But I want to bring people into the organization.
Okay.
So do we have a department? Do we have somebody who we can contact and talk to them just to help us how we can start this process?
Go ahead, Keith. Unmute yourself, sir.
Oh, well, Luis, it's unfair, Tom. Luis is actually, I'm his mentor, and I will be his co-sponsor as soon as they start the May 1st program. So
this wasn't fixed. This was not fixed before.
Luis, me being your sponsor and those above me or those others around you, we will help you with anybody that you've been talking to that wants to know more about eXp commercial. That's why we do things like this every month, every week. We're here to support you however you need supported, production, growth, whatever you can think of. That's why we're here.
Another thing I want to add, Luis, eXp growth leaders are there for support. There is a call that you can add people to. There is a whole dedicated team for growth in eXp corporate. So if you, you can, yes, of course, rely on Keith and Tom and all the rest of the group of people, but there are specific growth leaders in eXp corporate to serve to help you with that now.
Will do. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Let me also share. So who else has questions? Please feel free to open up your mic and ask your questions. No silly questions whatsoever. Luis, let me share with you a website here that might help you and others. It's called agentsgetfree.com. I'm pulling it up on screen here. If you scroll through the website here, you'll see all of the events that we have. We have special events. We show eXp Explained, the residential deal, twice a month. I think we're going to start doing commercial once a month. Then we have recurring events. Every Monday, we do residential sales coaching. Twice a month, we do agent attraction training. We do what's called Fast Cap, which is a residential training program for our residential agents. On the commercial side, every Wednesday, we do our commercial call
right.
Every Wednesday. And so just go through here. You'll see a lot of the events that we have going on, as well as resources for residential, commercial, luxury. It is all here for you. Okay. So lots to cover on that webpage.
I just did it. I got it right here. Thanks, Tom.
You got it. All right.
Steve had a question.
I have a question.
Ahead, Steve. What's your question, please?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
My name is Steve Sokoloff. I'm a commercial broker in Queens, New York.
Yes.
You guys hearing me? Because for some reason the audio on my phone is not good, and I was doing it on my desktop as well.
Yeah,
so
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, awesome. You know, New York accent. We have some people can't understand us.
We understand you clearly. Go ahead, man.
Thank you. So my buddy Chris Cagliano invited me to this Zoom, and I like a lot what I hear, and I do have a few questions. So let's go through the things that would affect me.
Yep.
So I'm licensed in multiple states, New York and New Jersey.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, I work with developers. So what happens is if I sell them the land, my deal is to get back the residential development on the back end, the condos or luxury rentals.
Mm-hmm.
So this way it's a double-edged sword. You know, the big money's on the back end, not the front end on the land.
Excellent. You got it.
So I do those projects
Yep.
when I get them. Not
Yep.
that I have anything on the table right now, but it's a vision to even go with larger projects.
Perfect.
So, you know, you can hand that off to the residential division, but you know, I'm a little bit of a control freak. So if I'm the point person, I'm the point person. That's number two.
Yep.
Commercial future, the future of our industry. We're all feeling the growing pains. I'm sure there's some agents that are doing amazing, but the commercial market, I don't know if it's a New York City thing lately in the last, let's say, 36 months or so, but it's been a tough ride. I started in commercial industrial leasing way back when, then sales, converted a few different options along the way. And now I'm doing more leasing now than sales because I find that I can do a few transactions that'll keep things moving. So I'm really wanted to hear someone's opinion about what's going to happen or what their prediction or their take is on 2025 moving ahead, since we're basically in the third week of the second quarter already. And I didn't hear anybody mention anything but positive things about eXp. I'm sure there's a couple of drawbacks because every company and business does. So, you know, if there's anything that you guys would feel that's kind of, you know, one of your pitfalls, which
Sure.
nobody's perfect,
Yep.
I would love to hear, you know, what you think that might be.
Great
That enough?
questions. Great questions, Steve. Awesome questions. Why don't I tackle the first one and then we'll move on to 2, 3, and 4 for you. So congratulations being licensed in New York and New Jersey. Know that with eXp platform, you have one cap in the United States, meaning when you do $20,000, when you pay $20,000 into the company, whether it's a New York deal, a New Jersey deal, a referral out to Texas, California, it all adds up towards your 100,000 gross commission income. 20,000 of it goes to the cap. You then graduate to 100% commission. Unlike some of our competitors where you might affiliate with different offices in different regions with different compensation plans, different structures and systems. Okay, so the good news is you can have one platform under the sun here, at least in the United States here with the eXp Commercial. Okay, Keith or Daniel, you want to tackle working with developers and getting the residential deal right back so that Steve, our control freak, can stay in control and make a boatload of money on both ends?
So, you know, my strategy would be for growth, meaning basically find a leader to work with you on the residential eXp realty side that's in your organization that is paying you a team split for this, or you hire a residential agent to join you in eXp Realty and you just pay them a salary where they run through the transactions on the realty side. Because we are two separate companies. eXp Commercial, eXp Realty are two separate real estate license companies, right? So with you being in control like I am, I'm the same way. I have a residential team that runs my residential stuff. And they pay me whatever I tell them to pay me.
And it could be 99% to you, Steve, and 1% to that residential agent.
No, listen, everybody's got to eat. I'm a very fair guy. I believe in that.
All right. But you get the point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You can have your cake and you can eat all of it here as well.
Yeah. So there's different ways to do it.
As long as you are qualified to serve the client's best interest. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that you have the ability, the tool set, the training, the skill set to serve the client's best interest, because that's the last thing we want is for any of our practitioners, residential, luxury, realty, commercial, to not serve the client's best interest by lacking the tools.
And when you go to that developer, you can say, yes, I'm part of a publicly traded company. We do have a luxury division. If you're developing luxury condos, guess what? We have a whole luxury division to support that development.
Steve,
That sounds great. But
Steve, in
just
that
want to back
luxury-
up one thing about the dual license states. So the franchise I'm currently with, of course, I'm paying 2 market centers. That's
Yep.
part of it. The other part of it is, and then I have a cap. My caps are separate from each other because it's
We
2
knew
different
that.
companies. Yeah, right. The thing is, though, I belong to one MLS in New Jersey, so I pay for 2 licenses a year, and I pay for 2 MLSs. I'm paying because I'm in an office
Yeah.
that's an MLS office, so
You'll
you must
continue
be
to
part
do
of
that. If you
MLS.
want access to those MLSs, that's not something that eXp controls, Steve, right? The MLS controls that. So you still will continue to pay those separate MLS fees. It could be 2, it could be 20, right? The 600 MLSs across the country, they manage their own. But you do have you can consolidate all of that into one platform with eXp. That's how we make it simple for you, and still one cap.
So Steve, one of the things is because you're talking about MLS, we're talking about eXp Realty. eXp Commercial is not an NAR member. So when you decide to join eXp, you have to decide which side of the company that you personally are going to join, because we cannot be in both sides. So those are things. So when you ask me, like, what are the kind of the differences or something that
The
drawbacks?
negatives, the negatives,
Yeah.
the pitfalls,
I don't see it as a negative, but yeah, that's something that there is a little hurdle on that. But other than that,
No,
you know,
I have that, but my point is, for example, like in that one market where I have my license, whether I'm with a commercial broker who I was previously with, an independent, and a franchise now, I was obligated to be part of their MLS. That's I guess that must be a Jersey thing or a South Jersey law.
that's a realtor law. So if your broker of record is a realtor, all licensees have to be in the realtor association, which adds the MLS. So if you want to go commercial, you don't have to join any of the MLSs.
Right, but who would be my broker affiliation in where my license would be in New Jersey?
It'll be eXp Commercial.
So wherever that, I mean, they have some offices, I assume,
here's
something
what
in
I'd
New
like to do
Jersey.
for the benefit of everyone else on this call. Steve, can you please get back to Chris Caggiano? And let's
No problem.
Steve, you and I and Chris Caggiano, along with Dick Lee, if he's available, to take this offline and dive into the weeds to make sure that we answer all your questions.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. And I'll be glad to be on the call if you need me to.
Thank you.
All right. Keith,
Thank
you
you,
want to
guys.
address where's commercial? Is the future bright in commercial, or is it dark?
Yeah. Well, the commercial world, for those who've been around a long time, it goes from a debt market to an equity market. That's all it is. We go with the business cycle. We're good to go. The one drawback of eXp commercial to a commercial practitioner, to a lot of them, are they're not used to being an entrepreneur of themselves and not having to go to an office. That is the one drawback I hear from people. How do you not go to an office, Keith? And I said, very simple. I got stress freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom because of all of our platforms. That's how I don't go to an office.
Yeah. The other negative, I would say, if there were any or pitfalls, is that, we are a very diverse organization. And when you come on to eXp, the platform, it is like drinking from a fire hose. It is entering a massive buffet where all the food is fresh and you can feel totally overwhelmed and literally get sick to your stomach because you're trying to eat everything in the buffet and you're going to throw it all up. So you just take your sweet old time. You take what you want. You take what you need. You leave the rest. And I promise you, when you come back next month, the next day, the next year, all that buffet food will still be fresh. You don't have to be all pressured to eat it all in one day.
Totally agree.
I like that. We're going to have to record that, Tom. We did
That's,
record
that's
it.
going into the
Good.
recording, baby. That's going into the final cut. All right. What other questions, comments do our guests have? We are here for you. Well,
Tom, just last one. And
Wait,
me again,
Luis, you're not allowed to say anything unless you turn on your video.
I am not in a place that I can turn on my video right now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Samantha, why don't you go ahead and stop the recording, please? Or
Yeah, stop
Alex?